All right, welcome back. If you're a mom listening to this right now, if you're feeling like you're failing, falling behind, or just too exhausted to think about your health, this episode's for you. And we're going to tell you something that you might already know. All right. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're overloaded. And the traditional fitness world has completely been missing the point, especially when it comes to moms. Right. So today
Mhm.
I'm bringing back a guest who is shifting his focus a little bit to help
Yeah.
fix that. Sam
Yes.
Rodriguez. He's been coaching busy parents for a while, and now he's just doubling down on helping moms specifically at the moment and bringing empathy and education into the fatigue, burnout, and time struggles that so many women face.
Yes.
We're going to hit the realities of some mental load, birth control, postpartum recovery, energy crashes, time management, the whole nine yards.
Yeah.
So let's start with this. Most moms don't have an issue with discipline. They have some sort of physiology problem. So, birth control can disrupt hormone communication. Women who are postpartum are depleted in nutrient stores for months and sometimes even years if it's not addressed. Cortisol stays elevated from
Yes.
broken sleep, under eating. I
Yeah.
mean, all of it. There's all the things. And
Yes.
yet most of the advice out there is still, my cat has her claw in my foot. One second. Most of the advice out there is still just track your macros and try harder, right? So, from
Yes.
your lens as a coach, when a mom comes to you feeling exhausted, what do you look for first? What are red flags that tell you that this isn't just like a motivation issue?
Um, what I found is usually like when they think they need to start dieting, is they think like, okay, I need to be in a calorie deficit, but then they instead of just kind of being in a normal calorie deficit where they're still, you know, eating all the all the food sources, they just like cut out carbs completely. And then that's
Mm,
just gonna make you even more tired. Like that's what I had to help a client with is breaking that mindset of just her thinking if she was gonna have carbs, she was just gonna get fatter. And it's like, no, your energy's like totally crashed because your thyroid slowed down because you're not having like any carbs. So
yeah, I
I
try to
totally
hit on that all the time because, like,
yes,
for
like
some reason, it's just still the first thing that people go to is like, oh, got to get rid of carbs, like
yeah, so
whatever,
it's like,
whatever
"No,
the issue.
please, let's not do that." So, yeah, so fixing that mindset of, like, you need the carbs for energy, like, obviously, like, I mean, every macronutrient is important, it all does a certain thing, we need the protein for building muscle, we need fats for cholesterol, for our brain, for hormones, and then carbs for, like, the immediate energy. So, and then we can get into, like, all the micronutrient deficiencies, people usually have, um, especially being like on birth control, like you said, like that's gonna deplete you of certain nutrients. Like micronutrients are important too. But yeah, that's like usually the first thing is I try to see like what they're currently doing. Usually they're trying to do too much already. They're already not recovering if their baby is still, waking up through the night for the feedings, then like that's going to be another thing where obviously the time management's a huge thing. So it's really looking at like the whole picture, but definitely starting with um the nutrition first. Like that's going to be like a big thing we can fix right away for sure.
Yeah. And I noticed a lot of moms especially have much more of a feeling of like guilt when it comes to taking care of themselves, versus like putting, say their family first, right?
Yes.
How do you shift that conversation away from shame and into more of a strategy?
Yes. So 'cause they need to realize that if they aren't in a place where they can be healthy and make that time for themselves to get healthier, then they're not gonna be able to be as good of a parent
Mm,
for their kids. So you have to put it in that perspective, like, I obviously you want, like, to be like, the kids are, like, the highest priority, but you still need to prioritize your health, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So and that's what I try to do with the coaching is I'll make meal plans with for moms where they aren't just cooking meals like separately for them, because that's been a thing before is they they will kind of not like self-sabotage, but they'll just be so focused on like cooking food for like everyone else, and then they're just going to end up eating that. So I'm going to make meal plans where it's going to be healthy food that's going to fit like their plan and get reach their goals, but everyone in the family is going to enjoy it. Like that's what's been working for my clients is especially for dinners, like making food like everyone's going to eat. And now everyone is going to be healthier too.
Yeah, I think that's huge because I've run into that as well where um whether it's a mom or a dad, just trying to have a completely separate meal from everyone else seems
Yeah.
to be like, personally, I don't know why you would try to do it that way off
Yeah.
bat anyway. Like that
Yeah.
just sounds so much more difficult.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but I mean, it makes sense because they already, everyone's already thinking about appointments and chores and tasks and planning and everyone else's needs. Um, it's just kind of this constant cognitive load.
Yeah.
And, that alone impacts, your hormones and everything, but it's gonna directly reduce motivation and physical recovery if you can't get on some level of consistency, right? Because I have
Yes.
noticed usually, like people don't eat every meal together, most families,
Mhm.
right? For a lot of people, it's only dinners.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is usually fairly easy just to have a free meal or whatever it is. But I do think that's huge. What have you learned about the mental load that moms carry, um, that maybe you didn't have earlier on in your coaching?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like especially now that me and my wife have our daughter now, so now we have two kids
Mhm.
because it was already I felt already demanding before with just one, but now it's even more with two. We're luckily we're at a place right now where she can just be staying home from work right now to focus on raising the kids, but it's still a lot, with all
Yeah, that is nice.
the feedings and the laundry,
Yeah, I
that
can imagine. I
that
I struggle
accumulates.
to do my laundry, and it's just me, so
But yeah, but I've been helping her, try to block out time, helping her with the kids so then she can still start like training again and everything just to make it more manageable. So it just I guess just trying to be I don't know if like just like not like cuz not everyone has like the same 24 hours, right? Cuz like being with a parent you're going to be busier, there's going to be more demands for things, but we can still find, a few minutes of the day to try to do some kind of like exercise or something. At least that's what I've been trying to do. Like if I have like a spare like 5 or 10 minutes, like I'll just do, some push-ups or crunches or something. Or
right, which in a sense, because even if you're not hitting like a 30-45 minute structured workout, you're still increasing your NEAT, right?
yeah.
If you're doing stuff like that, where if you're like, oh, I have 10 minutes, 5 minutes before my next meeting, let me get up and do some stretches, do some air
Yeah.
squats, move your body a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much of a difference that can make.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
The stretching's a big one for me lately. That's been definitely helping a lot. And then also just trying to get to the luckily we have a park that's just a couple blocks away, so walking to the park and playing like every day has been a goal also,
well,
for
that's
sure.
good. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's another thing is you have to be able to integrate it with spending time with your family.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
if you just make it one more thing that, and I mean, if you have the time to, that's great. But if you're already crunched on time and you try to make it one more thing where you have to like separate yourself
Yeah.
from, your home situation, that's just adds a whole another layer of not only like psychological stress, but like time constraints and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, so how do you approach or do you approach coaching differently at all with moms versus with dads?
Um, not too much. Definitely like the meal plan aspect because I know like guys, they don't really care about like eating different things. Um, and like the workouts too. Um, 'Cause I saw one thing, I think it was yesterday that, at least for dads, like, they'll be more able to just, like, wake up maybe, like, try to wake up earlier before work and then, like, do their workout, like, while everyone else is asleep, you know?
Mhm.
So, like, things like that where with moms, it'll be a little bit more difficult because 'cause they've probably already been up all night with the kids or something, so you can't really already wake up any earlier if you've already been waking up through the night, you know, like,
Yeah.
that's when they need the because women need more sleep than men in the first place, so you don't wanna wake up even earlier. So that's why I try to recommend doing, like if you don't have, like, the 30 minutes to do, like, a whole workout, if you can break it up into, you know, like, a few, like, 10-minute workouts through the day. That's what I'll usually have them do, especially if they're stay-at-home moms, you know,
Mhm.
then they can just get some, bands or, like, a couple dumbbells and do quick little things, you know, when they have time, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And I think that's another thing is, like, you don't even really need a gym membership. Like, you don't get me wrong, like, after a while, like, you're gonna reach a point where you're gonna need to at least get more equipment or new equipment because 'cause you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
reach a point where you're doing, 30 reps of everything, and it's like, "Alright, you need
yeah,
to go a little heavier, you need a
yeah,
little
yeah,
more." But you can get plenty done at home with some resistance bands or a kettlebell or, you know, even just your body weight, right?
yeah, yeah.
A
Yeah,
whole
especially
I think a
because
lot. Go ahead.
oh, yeah, because it's mostly, like, for I'm talking more of, like, beginner people.
Mhm.
Like you said, you can get a lot out of a little bit. But then, yeah, once you get to a certain place, you're gonna have to, yeah, like, get more equipment or get the gym membership.
Yeah, or get
Yeah,
creative. I mean, it's gonna
yeah, yeah. I mean, luckily,
Um,
like, we have, like, a little home gym, so that's what my wife uses.
yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. Um, when someone says, "I just don't have time,"
Mhm.
what do you help them look at first?
Oh, yeah, definitely have gotten that before. Usually when people say they don't have time, they don't realize, like, how much time of the day they're spending, like, scrolling on their phone. 'Cause
Mhm.
I used to be guilty of that too, and then, like, before I had kids, I was like, "Man, I don't have any time for stuff." And then now, like, I don't really spend that much time on my phone because 'cause I'm trying to spend more time with my kids, and I was like,
Right. You're doing
"Oh my
everything
god, I had
else.
so much time." What was I doing with all that time I had? So, usually now, I mean, I get it, like, you know, you can be kinda stressed out and, like, overstimulated with all the, like, kids, like, throwing tantrums and all this stuff, but if you can instead of you know, you can be more productive with that time, like, instead of at the end of the day decompressing and just, like, mindlessly, like, scrolling for 30 minutes, you can spend that time even if you don't wanna do, like, a weight training session, you can at least do that like, spend that time decompressing, like, stretching and doing, like, breath work. You know, that's gonna be, like, way more productive for you at the end of the day to do that breath work stretching, or if you up to it doing that little, like, like, weight training thing than it is to just be, like, scrolling TikTok, you know?
Yeah, I've actually started, incorporating a lot more, like, breathwork routines into my cool downs at the end of people's workouts. Um,
Nice.
so it's actually, like, the last thing they do is, like, some form of either box breathing or, just controlled diaphragm breathing, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but, yeah, I've noticed a big difference in that and just kind of how people are able to unwind afterwards, especially for people who might work out a little bit later in the evening after work.
yes.
Um, having that minute of and
Yeah,
just really being able to unwind. Because if they're go, 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 if they're up in the morning, getting the kids ready for school, doing this, that, and the other thing, dropping them off, going to work, working all day, coming home, trying to get dinner ready, going, doing their own workout, like
yeah,
they need 2 minutes somewhere in
yeah,
the day to just breathe.
yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
and I've also been incorporating lately more, like well, I'm already a big fan of, like, non-stimulant pre-workouts, and
Mhm,
so, like, when you're training, like, not being, like, too amped up in the training session, like, overstimulating your CNS already, and
mhm.
then controlling the breathing even, like, while you're lifting the weight. Like, that's what I've been incorporating, which I learned from my coach, which I'm having my clients do, so then that way, like, I mean, they're like, I know it's I'm sure you've done, like, when you just go in there and you just wanna have, like, a crazy, like, leg day and you wanna hit,
You
like, a
just
bunch
wanna
of plate
throw
you
stuff around,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, there's I mean, there's gonna be some days where you still do that, but, like, for the most part, like, keeping, like, the you CNS load low, control the breathing through the whole workout so you're not like gassed at the end of a set. That's been helping also.
Yeah, that's actually something I've been doing a lot more of recently is giving much more specific tempos for
Mhm.
workouts too, as far as like
Yeah.
the actual rep itself. Um, and I noticed that that almost forces people to do that part even more
Yeah.
so because they're like,
Yeah.
okay, 1, 2, all right, 1, 2, 1. And you know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
really being forced to work on that mind muscle connection.
Yes.
Um, and like you said, like really decreasing the load on their, central nervous system as well. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that's something I still struggle with too. Is like sometimes you do just want to move something heavy,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
Yeah.
just nice. But also you grow up and you get older and you get broken and then things hurt sometimes when you do that.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah. Like your
but so
knees, and then you
let's
have to spend 3 years
yeah.
fixing it.
Yeah, I just got knee sleeves for myself, and
Okay.
the first time I used them, I was like, "Why? Why did I wait until now to have knee
Okay.
sleeves? They're
It
great.
is nice. It is
My
nice.
knees hurt so bad before, and now I'm just like, this is beautiful."
You should have told
Uh,
me. I like into oh, we'll talk I can rehab your knees later, but I can totally help. Are you having like knee pain like in the front, like in your tendon?
so it's my um meniscus, and I
Mhm.
think I think on both, but I know at least on one it's my meniscus and then my IT band. Um,
Okay.
I had done some physical therapy and stuff like that
Mhm.
for it. It's
Okay.
just hurts when I put a whole lot of weight on it. Is basically.
Yeah.
So even just having the compression
Mhm.
from the knee sleeves like just relieves that.
It does help. Yeah, for
Like
sure. Just
yeah,
that little extra pressure on the knees.
hmm
Yeah, while you're squatting and stuff.
yeah, it makes a huge
Um,
difference for me.
okay, remind me later. I'll send you like some things to do because I used to have like I don't know if I mentioned it, but I had super bad like knee tendonitis in both my knees. Like I couldn't even squat like a plate without my knees just like aching for like a week.
Oh,
And
dude,
like
I'm
now,
I'm all sorts of broken. Ortho wants to operate on both my ankles, both my shoulders. I have the scoliosis in my back,
oh yeah, that's right.
as
You did
well
tell me about that.
as yeah, and the degenerative disc disease now, and like, dude, I'm falling to pieces.
You're gonna need to do like all the
um,
peptides.
I actually am taking Glow right now, so the BPC one
Perfect. There
five
you go.
seven, TB 500, and then the copper peptide. I can
Yeah.
never. It's like the GHKCU, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been great.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's what I told. I have a friend that's a veteran who's all beat up also, and I told him to he's gonna start taking that soon also.
Yeah, it's I actually just another one of my friends who's also a vet has just started taking it. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to find the minimum effective dose because it
Okay.
is pricey.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
It can
problem. That's the
be.
problem.
But it is so effective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is one of those things where it's becoming more of a necessity. Because I've
Yeah.
noticed when I'm taking it, 3 times a week, I'm like, oh, I stand up straight, I feel good, like I don't hurt.
Hmm.
Um, and then if I'm doing it like 2 times a week, I'm good during the week, but that like
Hmm.
longer break between,
Okay.
because if I do it like say like Tuesday and Thursday or whatever, Tuesday and Friday, like right towards the end before my next one, I'm hurting. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, So we're figuring out exactly what works, but that's a good one.
Yeah. For sure.
So let's zoom in a little bit uh, on hormonal birth control and fatigue for a second.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
we're not going to go super deep into it because we're two guys talking about birth control. We're probably not going to get listened to a whole lot anyway. But you know
Yeah.
what?
Right.
We're going to hit it.
Yeah.
So, hormonal birth control suppresses ovulation, right? That means no real cycle, no rhythmic estrogen, progesterone signaling. And that changes how your body handles serotonin, cortisol, insulin sensitivity. Um, so when a mom, especially, is now on birth control and
Hmm.
feeling flatlined, anxious, constantly craving sugar, It's
Yeah.
not in their head. It's chemistry. It's neurochemistry, technically.
Yes.
Um, so are you seeing moms struggling with fatigue while on hormonal birth control quite a bit, or is that something
I
you've
think
noticed?
I think a little bit, but not like too crazy because it kind of just
Mm,
kind of gets fixed with all the other like things we're doing with like the lifestyle factors and the meal plans and stuff. We can kind of mitigate a lot of it. I haven't run into anyone yet that has like had super bad I guess like side effects or like those kind of things from the birth control. But
that's good.
yeah, but luckily I am studying up on it. So if that when that does come up, I'll be prepared for sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're definitely in the right place for that.
Yeah.
Um, so I think the biggest lie women are told is that symptoms like exhaustion, brain fog, things like that are normal for moms. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
And so they're not, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I think that that's a big message that we need to get out there to moms is that you're allowed to feel good too. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And you
Yeah.
should put your own, like my girlfriend says it all the time, put your own mask on before you help those around you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of like when you're in a plane.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the guilt for a second, because it's an emotional thing, right? People think like I feel selfish for taking time for me. I should be with my kids, not lifting weights. I can't
Yeah.
invest in coaching. We need to go get groceries, things like that.
Yeah.
Uh, the guilt narrative is everywhere, but
Yeah.
you don't owe your kids a martyr, right? You owe them
Yeah.
a role model. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
how do you navigate the mom guilt in your clients? And I know it's not just moms, it's parents across the board, but
Yeah. Yeah. But definitely I think moms definitely feel it more for sure. You know, because they definitely it's like one of those things where they have those goals of like losing the weight, you know, getting in shape, being healthier for the family, but then as soon as they start doing it, then they feel that guilt of like not being with their kids at
mm,
that moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's just trying to um get that better mindset of like you said, you need to be like the role model. They don't need a martyr. I like that was pretty well how you said that. So yeah, definitely like working on mindset is a huge thing, which I've realized like these last like this year actually is like mindset just plays like a bigger role in coaching in life in general than I realized before.
yeah,
Like
I think
that's a huge thing.
I think it goes overlooked quite a bit. That's part of the reason why I'm getting my psychology degree, so that I can
Okay,
kind
yeah.
of integrate that into my coaching as well. Um,
Yeah.
but
That's
so
smart.
what mindset shifts help them break out of that pattern, and finally put themselves first?
I think a good thing to do is like positive affirmations every day. Saying doing those like 1 to 2 times. That's great. Also just just so they can remember that they are like the role model and they're not gonna be able to and just so they can show up for their kids, they need to be healthy. That's usually what they're telling me is like they're at a place where they can't like run out and play with their kids without like being winded or all these things. So that's what I need to like remind them is like I know you're feeling guilty at this second, but you need to think of like your big goal of what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I think a lot of that has to do with cognitive reframing, right? Which is just essentially instead of I'm a piece of shit for not being with my kid right now, it's I'm becoming a better version of myself for my kid right now.
Yes. There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the same situation,
Mm.
but you have to look at it through a positive lens. Like that's the only
Yes.
way. And if
Yes.
if there's something where you can't twist it to be through a positive lens, then maybe it's not positive. All right.
Yeah.
Then we can discuss.
Yeah.
Um, but I like that you do like the verbal affirmations
Mhm.
because that is a huge thing people don't realize is like the power. I don't want to make this sound too woo woo, but like the difference between just thinking something and actually saying it is
Yes.
huge.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why it's uncomfortable, right? Because you can sit here and think, I'm awesome. I'm going to do great today.
Mhm.
Like whatever it is, whatever your affirmations are. You can think that
Mhm.
and it's super easy, but like to actually get yourself to say it out loud every morning, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people are apprehensive, but there's a reason for that, right? You have to break
Yeah.
through that uncomfortable feeling in order to get the results, right? Because
Exactly.
I've never gotten real results from anything that wasn't a challenge or a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I love that you do that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that moment where a mom finally stops apologizing and makes that shift, and how that changes everything? What's the example that comes to mind for that?
Yeah, definitely, like, my sister was the first one, that happened with, and, it was great, and also just, being that good role model. Now her kids even want to, like, do their own, like, little workouts with her, or, like, when they're playing, they'll be like, "Oh, mom, I'm gonna do my workout," and then they'll just be, like, stepping up and down on her, like, step stool. So but it's cool to see that though, for sure. But yeah, definitely my sister was the first one to get that positive mindset.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And that's not. I want to say that's not easy because I'm sure you have experienced this as well. But when I say we as coaches, right? Um, when you start coaching, some of the most difficult people to coach are the people closest to you. Right. So
Yes.
like
Yeah.
your family, your friends, like, so that's all. I think that's awesome that you got to see that as a result from your sister.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and when moms start reclaiming their health, they start improving their energy, their sleep,
Mhm.
uh, even just boundaries and things like that, right? Because they start building that structure for themselves, really all around. So the ripple effect is just there for everybody around her. Um, so that's awesome. But all right, Sam, let's hit a few quick ones before we wrap this up. What is the first small win you try to give to a tired mom or client in week one?
Um, usually usually it's been, like, just trying to get, like, better sleep. Because usually, I know it can be hard if the baby's still, like, waking up at night, but if they're at a place where they only wake up once, or they're still if they at a place where they are sleeping all the way through the night, that's usually the first thing I try to work on is, like, the sleep quality. So I'll have them do I always give everyone, like, a morning routine and an evening routine, so then, with the morning routine, we set, good habits right away with getting some morning sunlight, hydration, getting the sunlight on their face in the morning, getting outside if they can, do grounding, and then, before they go to bed, no screens. If they need to be on their phone for some reason, then at least have the blue light blocking glasses. Then I'll have them take it was taking a sleep stack, but now I could just have them take, Eminent Zenith PM,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a little bit easier. Instead of having to take, like, 5 different
Yeah,
supplements, they can just take
I've
that.
I've been I've been taking that one, and like, to be completely honest, when it dropped, I was like, oh, it's a little expensive for like a sleep
Yeah.
supplement, but I was like, I gotta try it. Um, and it works. Like even on day one for me, it worked.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so and when you break it down by serving, it's like $2 or $3 per serving.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anyone who has trouble sleeping or needs help sleeping will
It's
gladly pay $2 or $3 to know that they can go to sleep. You know what I mean? That's the way I broke it
yes.
down. And I was like, so this is good stuff. And now I'm using it, at least on training days. So I'll use
Yeah.
it on training days so that I make sure I get the most recovery. And those are usually the days that I have caffeine. So
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
kind of hit it with that, make sure I stay on track with my stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good idea.
but what is the top three things that moms should track and what they should stop tracking immediately?
Oh, so I think I think sleep quality is definitely big. I think they should probably be try to be more mindful of how much stress they actually are having every day and like be honest with themselves about that so that way we can try to find like ways to mitigate that stress if that's possible. Um Also, I'm a big thing of like getting your protein in. So like every 3 to 4 hours have protein, but like not just like a protein bar, like actually like a serving of like whole food protein so you can get like 40 grams of protein in a serving. So that way
Yeah.
you can actually have enough like amino acids to build muscle and everything. So like that's the big thing.
Yeah, I've
So
noticed that's one of the hardest things I've seen is like trying to convince people that they can't just add protein shakes to their diet and expect that to like negate everything else.
yeah. I mean, if you're in a
uh,
pinch or like, if you're
oh,
working out, there's
absolutely.
going to be like times where you like can have a protein shake, but like ideally you want to have like all your protein from like whole food sources, like eggs, beef, chicken, salmon.
Yeah,
Like that's going to be
absolutely.
way better for you with all like the micronutrients and everything. That's my opinion at least.
I agree. So
Yeah.
we got sleep, we got protein. What's a third? All right. So what's something they should stop tracking?
Um, Stop tracking. I think that's a good one actually. I would say if you over like of a newer client that's if you have like a bad mindset about the scale, like you can probably
Mm,
stop tracking that. If you like obsess over it and you can get into like a negative headspace about the scale weight, then we can find other things to track that's not the scale weight. Because
yeah, I think.
that can be difficult for some people because they'll obsess over it because like us as coaches, we're just using it like as just another like tool in our tool belt. Like it's just another metric. It's just another data point. But just we just I'm sure you do it too. You just wake up, you weigh yourself, you just log it, and you just go about your day, and like you just at the
Yep.
end of the week, like what's going on. But like
Yeah, sometimes I don't
that's
even
it.
really think about it. Like
Yeah, you're
it
just gonna
just
keep
gets
track of
put
it.
in
But for
there.
other people, that's like a big thing. So if you're one of those people where that's gonna be like gonna is gonna throw your whole day off, and you're gonna have like a whole horrible day, then just maybe you should stop tracking that.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the only other example that I could think of would be if someone again has a tough time with tracking like macros,
Yeah.
switching to a meal plan so that you don't
Yes.
have to necessarily track the macros, you just have to weigh out the food. You know what I mean? You just have
Yeah.
to.
Actually, yeah. That same person, that's what I'm having them do. Like I'm like,
Mm,
don't. Because I told her when we started, like, "Hey, just write down everything you're eating and just send it to me." But she, like, tried to log everything in MyFitnessPal, and then she freaked out about, like, how many calories she had for the day, and I was like, "Hey, I didn't tell you to do that part. I just need to tell you make a list of what you ate during the day, and I can do the math." Like, like, I
yeah.
don't want you, like, having any, like, negative emotions or anything like that. Like, I just need
But
to know how
at
much
the
you're
same
eating.
time, sometimes that is eye opening for people sometimes though, because a lot of people are like, I eat pretty healthy, I eat pretty good, I think, and then they track their food and they're like, I am eating way more than I thought I was, or the opposite,
Yeah.
they're not eating as
Yeah.
much protein, right? Uh,
Yes. I mean, it's case by case. Like those people,
hmm
yes, but for her specifically, because it wasn't that much food, and it was like, oh, this is not good. If you're freaking out over this many calories, and we're still like not, I was like trying to do we were trying to reverse diet her up in calories.
hmm
So I'm like, let's not.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna you just eat what I tell you to eat.
that's always a tough one to explain. Um, because people usually come to us with the idea that they're going to be eating less, right? That's what they think. And then we're like, hey, so actually, we're going to have you eat out of maintenance for a little while so we can build
Yeah.
you a baseline so that I know what to do.
Yes. Yeah. There's been a few
um,
people I've had to do that. So, but I mean,
yeah.
that's what I mean. Like I said, like everyone's going to be different, but sometimes that's what you're going to have to do because they're at a
But yeah,
place
I
where you
think,
can't pull the calories down.
yeah, I think those are the things. Like, if you can remove the numbers from tracking,
Hmm.
um, then that's the way to go. If you can do like a meal
Yeah.
plan, if you can
Yes.
do progress pictures,
Yes.
weekly,
Yeah. That's a
if
big
you
one.
do
Hmm.
that instead of tracking on the scale. I think a big one too is journaling,
Hmm.
and it's something I still need to work on it too. But
For sure. Me too.
just as far as like being more conscious and more like cognitive of the fact that you are stressed, or you did feel good this day, or like you didn't go to the bathroom as much this day and you were extra
Yeah.
stressed, or like you felt
Hmm.
bloated, or like whatever it is. Like, if you're not tracking or if you're not journaling in some fashion, like at the end of the week or at the end of the month, you look back and you're like, yeah, it's like I felt fine, whatever, like no complaints. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then, but if you're actually tracking it, you look back and you're like, there's a lot that I could fix
Yeah.
here with with easy fixes too.
Yeah.
Usually it's small things. Um,
And you
but
also
okay,
like put down
okay.
write down your wins too. Like that's good as well.
Yep, the weekly
Yeah.
wins at least are a huge thing,
Yeah.
because that's one of my favorites is for having people track their daily wins.
Hmm.
So then on their check-in where they're like, "Oh, I don't think I did that good this week." You can be like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
cuz you said 7 things at least that you did well this week." So I don't want
Yes.
to hear it.
Yeah.
Um, but all right, Sam, it's always love having you on, brother.
Yeah.
Um, where can people connect with you if they're ready to, you know, stop spinning their wheels and talk to another parent about this whole getting their life back thing?
Yeah. So, definitely my Instagram, samrodriguez.fitness. It's also my handle on TikTok, which I'm getting more traction on there too. So if I
Nice.
post the short on there, we can do that. And then, I think it's also that on YouTube. I can't remember, but for sure, if you see this wherever you are, hopefully you can go to my Instagram and samrodriguez.fitness.
Perfect. If this episode hit home, screenshot it, tag us, send it
Yeah.
to a mom who's been stuck in survival mode. And if you're coaching, listening, do better. The
Yeah.
women, the women you're coaching deserve science, not slogans. All right. You're not broken. You're overloaded. Let's fix
Yeah.
the system, not just the symptoms. Sam,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
again. Everyone
Hmm.
else, until next time.
See ya.